Hi, welcome to the Industry Astrology New Moon Forecast for July of 2023. Venus Retrograde coming up as well. The moon is waning, the energy is decreasing, growing more inward. How are you feeling? The moon is waning, growing darker, and on July 17th, tomorrow at 11:32 a.m., the moon will join the sun and then begin to wax again. Feeling a little more tired, introverted, perhaps sensitive to the energy around you, or edgy even. Maybe you're ready for a change. This new moon is at the precipice of an important cycle, a transitional passage for Venus, the goddess of love, of money, finances, luxury, art, all things beautiful, the things we value. Venus is going to make a huge transformation in this lunar cycle to come and into September. So Venus retrograde is a death and rebirth process. Venus, as the evening star, is dipping down into the sun and is going to disappear in just a few weeks. Then she is going to be combust. She's going to travel through the fire of the sun, where it's said that things have to be burned away. There's a certain surrender point, and that will be in mid-August. And then it's later in September when she rises again in the morning that we can really start to see the results of this process. So this new moon is kicking off a time when we may be slowing down, stopping, looking at our lives, perhaps our relationships, relationships to our creative expression, our relationships to also our bank accounts and our finances. Venus has a lot to do with emotional security and how we get our emotional needs met, whether it is in relationship or through our work or how we make our home. It is how we feel comfortable and what we value, what we place in near our hearts, near our spiritual centers. So when Venus changes in the next few weeks, there's a time when you can look at where you are, what you have accumulated, how you set things up, and review and even reevaluate the importance of certain things in your life. So this is a time when relationships can transform a lot. The new moon is in the area of the sky of Punarvasu, here on the edge of Cancer. Punarvasu is the Vedic nakshatra of renewal. One translation is return of the light, Punarvasu, like the light that comes at the end of a storm that breaks through the clouds. So there is something about recuperation, recovery, all kinds of self-improvement, and really working to improve situations in general. Also, I feel that it could help alleviate some of the torrential rains and devastating floods that we've been seeing throughout the world as climate change is starting to make a bigger impact. Punarvasu is ruled by a goddess named Aditi, an ancient Vedic goddess, the mother of the Adityas, who is associated with a sort of boundless energy of life itself, the ability of life to regenerate, to recover, to recuperate in the midst of chaos. And so this Aditi, this energy of Punarvasu, gives this potential for Mother Nature to heal herself, to recover, to give birth to herself, and also for us to recover through connecting with Mother Nature. So this is a powerful new moon to be meditating outdoors, to be connecting with the forces of nature in a positive way. Aditi is a great nourisher. This new moon really is about emotional nourishment. And coming back to that Venus retrograde, a lot of possibility for deeper inner work on these themes. Emotional security, particularly, and emotional nourishment, and how we feel truly free or not to express ourselves in relationships and in our work, in the world. So there's something that is turning around. Venus literally stops and turns around when she goes retrograde. Now, Venus will be transiting backwards through some very powerful and transformational areas of the sky as well, according to Vedic astrology. She's going backwards over Magha, the nakshatra of the heart of the lion, a very fierce fire nakshatra of Leo, and backwards into Cancer again, where she's going to be an Ashlesha, intense emotional star, actually. So these two nakshatras create the Gandanta. There's a friction between them that is particularly special and indicates that there is a threshold during this Venus retrograde that we're going to be crossing. And there is an opportunity for big, critical, and complex, maybe too, breaking points. You can really make a change in your life in August and into September. So I thought this was worthy to make a class on, especially because I rarely get to talk about Venus and the Vedic mythology and beliefs around this power of regeneration and love. So I decided to put together a 2-hour class of Vedic horoscopes. This is going to be focusing on Venus and the 12 Vedic signs, horoscopes for all 12 Vedic signs for this Venus retrograde, which is going to be from July 22nd until September 3rd. So check it out. I'm going to give my class on the day she goes retrograde on July 22nd. You can register for the live Zoom class. It's going to include question and answer, and also a recording is going to be available for all those who register as well. And let's take a look at what the tarot cards have to say about this new moon in Punarvasu nakshatra. Okay, so the first card that came through is the 6 of Cups. This card is, I feel, really appropriate for something like Venus retrograde in a really sweet way. 6 of Cups has to do with nostalgic connections, old people from the past coming back, old flames coming out of the woodwork, enjoyment of this. You know, Venus retrograde, according to Vedic astrology, Venus becomes actually stronger. Her influence is deeper on us, even though she goes into a place where she's invisible. She's working on us on a deep way, from the inside out. So, yeah, this time is a Venus retrograde, this August running into September, is a time to reconnect with those you love. There is like this tendency to also bring back, because of that, maybe old beliefs or feelings or patterns in relationships and help you see it from a new perspective. Shed light on it in a new way. Particularly, maybe it's in creative endeavors as well. If you are an artist, the Prince of Wands, that energy of Leo. The Venus station where she retrogrades is going to happen in Leo, in actually the heart of the lion, in Magha. And there's a lot of creative energy there. It is a lot about self-expression and self-respect, loyalty, trust in the self, self-actualization. And finally, the 9 of coins. Trusting in the abundance of the earth to still sustain us, to hold us safe. That's part of Venus's promise, in a way, and the new moon as well in Punarvasu. This ever-sustaining force of Mother Nature. And the food that we're given to eat, the wealth that sustains us. Come back to those you love, come back to your heart, come back to the true, authentic origin, your power to create and change the world around you. your power to express yourself and actualize your visions. Remember what supports and feeds you. Remember there is an abundance beyond the fear and doubt and seemingly chaotic energies of this planet now. There is something much older that holds you safe. Start from the inside out with what makes you feel alive. Find the pathway back to your heart, to what shines. Return of the light. It's through the shining that we can nourish ourselves and others. Okay, well, thank you for coming to the Anandashri Astrology New Moon Forecast. I do offer one-on-one Vedic astrology readings and tarot readings online. You can subscribe to my newsletter. It's free, and I'll calculate your birth star if you haven't already as well on my website, anandastrology.com. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already, and check out my class. It's coming up and it is limited. I'm not going to be offering it later as a review. Be sure to register now if you're interested, and I will see you soon.